Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ride with Lance, and today we're going to take the YotoBike Lion Cargo bike out for a ride, and I'm going to tell you about some modifications I did to it to make it a much more comfortable riding position and I think a better use of a cargo bike. But let's get some riding in and we'll talk about it. Feels like I got my seat a little too low. Let me pull up over here in this little greenway. Let me adjust the seat. Pull over right here, and I'll be right back with you. All right, let's get going. I got the seat adjusted. Oh, much better. Now it doesn't feel like my knees are going to hit me in my chin. We're going to take this as we're going to take a easy ride today. It's 100+ degrees outside, so I don't want to pass out. But anyways, if you're someone who likes the Yoto Lion family cargo e-bike, or you're considering buying it, I'm going to give you a few pointers of what I did to get the PRP, what I call the PRP, the perfect riding position, at least for this bike, as best that I could get it. Now, a few things about this bike first that I want to mention is it does come with a pretty comfortable stock seat with a suspension seat post that actually does a pretty good job. I'm 250 pounds and it absorbs the bumps for me. So if you're lighter than me, that suspension seat post will not need to be changed, and you probably won't even have to get an aftermarket seat for comfort. Now, when the bike came, it had a very, I'm going to call it a very aggressive mountain bike type riding position, which means, let me come over here, actually here in the shade, and I'll show you what I mean. So it had pretty much flat bars, and the handlebar mount was way up here. So I was down and forward. So what that does is that means you're leaning your whole body forward and you're putting all your upper body weight on your arms. And after a little while, your arms are going to get tired. Your shoulders are going to get tired. The other thing that's going to happen too is you're going to get a sore neck because you're leaning way down. You got to look up to see where you're going. And after a while, those muscles start to hurt, and then everything becomes uncomfortable. Also on the seat, when you're leaning forward like that, it puts pressure in a spot that I'm sure both for men and women you don't want. Things go numb. So you don't want that. Now the other thing that I had to remove, and I'll show you where I put it, it came with a front basket. Let me pull over here again. That front basket was about this tall, just right under the handlebars, and it was like this wide. You'll see it in a minute. And first of all, that basket was getting in the way of all these cables. Every time I had to make a turn, it was getting snagged up on the corner of the basket. No matter what I did to reroute those wires, one of those wires was always getting caught. The other thing too was those bars were so low that you couldn't carry anything in the basket that was maybe this tall. Anything more than that, if you had to turn sharp, your handlebars were going to be hitting it. So I solved that problem, at least for me. Now, some of you may get this bike for exactly what it's being advertised as, a cargo family bike, meaning you could put riders on the back. Now, I have modified it so there is no riders on the back, but I don't have riders to carry either. So I would be using this truly as a cargo bike. I still have the front, I don't know what you call that, rack up front that I could put something on and strap it down with a bungee cord or a cargo strap. And now I have that bin in the back. So I'm going to get off here and I'm going to show you the modifications I did. And it might be something you might want to consider if you're getting this bike. And this is a great bike. This thing, well, I'll show you. Let me get off here and give you an overview of the bike real quick. All right. Let me show you what I did to the Yoto Lion that suits me the best. I get the best riding position and I have more function from this bike as a cargo bike. So let me show you. First thing I did is I changed out the handlebar mount. So this one had a nice long one that if you're looking here, the stock one actually came out to here and it was about that high too. So these ends of these handlebars were way down here and you could see how close that would have been to this. That's the rack right here that was on the front. The next thing I did after replacing that, see, I put a smaller one on, is I got handlebars with a 3.5 inch rise on them. This gets me more in the upright riding position, so I'm a lot more comfortable when I ride. No more strain on the arms. A nice upright riding position. There's the suspension seat post that comes with the bike, and this is a nice seat that I do not need to change. Now for the back, here before I put this here, there was that thin pad that people could sit on, and then you had running boards that came down here that were super noisy. Any little bump in those things would just bang, bang, bang. But I went ahead and put a little piece of wood here so I can mount this on, and I think that's works a lot better for me when I want to use this as a cargo bike, when I go to the store and just pick up a bag or two of groceries or something else, or a camera gear, whatever I'm taking on my ride that day. And then I still have the front here that I can put something on and strap things. But I also think it just makes this bike look a lot much better. I think right now it looks like a real cargo bike instead of just a bike that's really long. Before, without that thing there, this thing just looked like a really long bike. And it is longer. You can see how the chain has to have an extra freewheel there because it's so long. But anyways, let's get back out to this ride before I melt. Because this 100+ degree weather, it's not going to agree with me for very long. All right, let's get back to it. So yes, it is a much more enjoyable bike to ride now. You can always even do, well, you can, not almost can, just use it as a cruiser. So this would be great down by the beach, just having a nice, easy, slow ride enjoying the beach, the scenes, the people. Get yourself a cup holder here. Get your favorite beverage, a Coke, a Pepsi, a chocolate shake. That sounds good right now. But now I'm just using throttle only. And another thing I want to tell you about though with this bike is this only has a 500 watt motor. And this thing has got power. Let me turn around here and we'll do a speed run. I just want to make sure there's nobody on the trail in front of me. But I will count the miles as we go, okay? Starting from a dead stop. This is not about how quickly it gets there. It's going to be about the torque and the top speed of this. Now this thing is pulling pretty decently for a 500 watt motor, because I know this one you can get in a 500 watt, 750 watt. So now we're at 26, 27, 28. I'm getting a crosswind. 29, 30. Almost 31, and I have a crosswind. So if you're on their website, you're looking at it, and you don't know what you should get between the 500 watt and the 750 watt, if you get the 500 watt, you're not going to regret it either. So I'm just wondering if the 750 watt is even much more powerful, because I don't think I've seen any videos yet where they're showing that. But I'm sure if it's doing 30 miles an hour like this one does, it must have a lot more torque for pulling. Maybe it's a tree stump puller, who knows? But yeah, now this is a really nice cruiser bike too. Once I made those modifications and I got into that more perfect riding position, it is a lot more enjoyable. Because I tell you what, those first few videos I did, even though I was impressed with the bike, oh, I came back all saddle sore because I was always hunched down like this, looking up, had a stiff neck. So those are some of the things you should think about, and not with just this bike, but any bike where it looks like the handlebars are just really low down. You're going to be hunched, and if you're looking for a cruiser, you're going to have to do some modifications to get that good riding position. All right, well, I know this wasn't a super long video, but I just really wanted to show you guys what I did to this bike to get it in a really nice comfortable riding position for me, that some of you may want to look at too if you're looking at this bike. I know there's still some that they prefer that mountain bike style position. But for me, I like sitting upright with my head upright so I can see everything. It's just more comfortable. All right. Well, you all have a great day, a great week, a great weekend, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.